And good morning, Jeff Cole here at the Channel 7 Digital News Desk here on your Monday. We're here to talk about an update for a fire that happened. It happened Sunday, and crews were at this fire well into the overnight and still there putting out hot spots. We're talking about the former mill property in Newton Falls. We have video. This is the first video that you're seeing of this fire up in the Adirondacks. So Newton Falls, you have to go to Star Lake. It's in between there and Cranberry Lake. It's a left-hand turn if you're heading into the Adirondacks off State Route 3. Newton Falls had this paper mill in their community for decades, a major employer in the community for decades, and it closed in 2010. Since then, the building it was abandoned, dilapidated. Parts of it were falling down. If you look to the left there, you can see that blue color on the mill. I think that's what a lot of us remember that mill looking like, right? That's just the iconic colors of the Newton Falls paper mill, what used to be Appleton in Newton Falls. And so now talking about the fire scene, thick black smoke coming from that fire. Again, this is video from Sunday, from yesterday. Several fire departments called in for this mill fire, all the way from Natural Bridge and Gouverneur coming in to help out fire crews from Star Lake, Cranberry Lake, and other communities in that area of the Adirondacks. But thick black smoke, plenty of flames that you can see in this video. Again, this was sent to 7, and this is from yesterday. Fire crews still there this morning as they are putting out some of the hot spots. This picture here is a pretty good picture. Let's put that up. And again, it's that color of the mill that we all know, we all recognize that as being Newton Falls, and the flames coming out from one section there. In talking with different officials here this morning, there were parts of the mill that were dilapidated, falling down. And we're still trying to zero in exactly what part of the mill that this consumed. But there is another warehouse on the property that is salvageable. It's maybe usable if somebody were to come in and want to do something on this property. And we're not sure if that's part of the fire or if it's just this main part of the mill that you're looking at here, which may have been falling down. We're not sure, and that's what we're figuring out here today. But the fire clearly took out much of the building that it started in. And through fire officials, we have learned that the fire started on the second floor of this structure here. Again, exactly which structure is it? Unknown without having boots on the ground. And Mark Mason Jr., our reporter, is going to be up there today, is almost there. Second floor of the building is where it started. We're told that's the office space of that building by some fire officials. Crews were there all night long, and there's no cause to the fire. But important to note that the fire officials tell us that the mill has been a place for squatters. So an area where people would be trespassing, perhaps staying. And so that may be one reason. We don't know, but I mean, if you have squatters in the building and it gets chilly in the Adirondacks, although overnight it wasn't that bad, but nonetheless could have been. And so we don't know. That's speculation, but it is something on our end as a news group. We're looking at asking that sort of a question if it was started by someone trying to stay warm within those buildings. We don't know. The other thing I'm curious about, to be honest with you, is it's been so dry. Was there any threat of this fire getting out of control? And starting something more within the Adirondacks. Again, without boots on the ground, you don't know how close it was to some other trees. You can see some there. But usually there's a pretty good perimeter around buildings like this. And so that may not have been a problem or even a concern. But again, that's a question that we'll be asking here today as you take a look at this massive fire. And 7 or 8 different crews, companies, fire companies were there last night from different communities. This is later in the day. You can kind of see this is more of a dusk photo, and you can see the different fire and ambulance crews on scene there in Newton Falls. Small little community up in the Adirondacks. Again, that Newton Falls paper mill used to be Appleton Paper Mill. That was a major employer in the community for decades. It closed in 2010. It went from being Appleton to Newton Falls, and then eventually just kind of closed there in 2010. Some different things have been talked about for the property. What's interesting about this property is it is industrial, it is zoned industrial, and it's within the Adirondack Park Agency, the APA, very regulated with what you can do within the blue line is what it's called. And so this is property that could be used for something. It's uniquely coded, zoned for industrial. It's a spot where something could happen if somebody wanted to come along and start up something. Parts of that mill already started to be torn down. And so, again, we're not sure exactly what buildings the fire hit, but we're learning that here today. Another asset there on the property is that there is a rail line, invested in by St. Lawrence County and the Industrial Development Agency in terms of having that rail line that runs up through the community. So again, just an update here for you in terms of what we're seeing and what we're learning. This fire from Sunday, crews there all night and putting out hot spots this morning. Just really was going really well midday, late in the afternoon on Sunday. This is where the video is from. Newton Falls, sent to 7. We appreciate that. Heavy black smoke just coming from that community. You see the water, the smokestack in the background there, and water being put on it by firefighters there in the left-hand side of that video. And then today, again, the crews are still there, but the hot spots being put out, but the major event is out. Now the questions start in terms of how did it start, what's damaged, what isn't damaged. Again, I'm told there's a warehouse on site there that could be usable, and we're going to learn if that was affected by this fire or not. So that's the situation there in Newton Falls. So that's our update for you at this time here as we stream live on our website at wwnytv.com. We'll gather some more information. We'll have details for you on our broadcast at noon, so 7 News at noon with Mackenzie Pyatt, Diane Rutherford, and of course an updated forecast with Beth Hall. So all of that coming your way on television and here on our live stream at noon. But for now, that's our update. Thanks for tuning in.